in the headlines. And for once, it's not just about standard supply and demand. Geopolitics has kicked down the door, and we're talking about Venezuela, we're talking about Iran, and you're on with Mike here at Equity Sense. So, we're seeing an increasing rhetoric and the potential for tighter sanctions from the United States aimed at the two major oil producers. It's basically what they're fighting with right now in a military stance. We're talking about Iran and Venezuela. The current or the most latest or the latest headlines from coming out of the White House when it comes to Iran is that Trump was threatening Iran to not do anything with the protesters, otherwise they will face the wrath of the United States. So the big question investors and everyone else in the market in oil are asking is if the US definitely escalates, is oil going to go up? How high will it go up? And what is going to be the supply equation? So the context is pretty clear here. Both of those countries, Iran and Venezuela, have massive reserves, and their ability to sell that oil is already very restricted given all the blockades. And here's the kicker. Both of them supply heavily to China, which is, as you all know, has a very, very touchy relationship with the US at the moment. So Washington continues to tighten enforcement on Iran, and at the same time, the US or the White House continues to really put the pressure on Venezuela. So it's important to be aware and to be careful as you go into the new year trading oil. So it's very simply put, if there is major escalation in either of those countries between the US, oil prices will spike up. That's a no-brainer. The more pertinent question is how high will it go? And at the moment, given going into 2026, the oil supply number is very, very well balanced. There's a huge glut of oil globally. So we may get a very muted response if there is a response from the oil markets vis-a-vis the prices. We might just get like maybe a dollar spike, maybe even a $2 spike, and then we'll rebalance very quickly. So bear that in mind in case you are looking to put some kind of trade going on energy futures and any of its derivatives. OPEC definitely has a huge amount of spare capacity. So be very, very careful with your positioning as we continue to see what will happen there. So the bottom line, the direction of oil depends on how hard the US squeezes Iran and Venezuela. If there's going to be a total all-out conflict or it's going to be resolved peacefully, one way or another. And always the question, of course, is what OPEC and NOPEC will do to respond to any possible crisis.